They've dominated this sport for 20 years, lifted trophies, broken records, and given us moments we'll talk about for decades. In 4 years, none of them will be there. Welcome to Flop Files.
Okay, let's set the stage. The 2026 World Cup in North America gave us an absolutely spectacular finale. Spain were crowned world champions in New Jersey, grinding out a 1-0 victory against Argentina in a grueling extra-time battle. But, almost immediately, that historic Spanish victory was overshadowed by something much, much heavier. Because this tournament didn't just crown a winner, it marked the definitive end of football's golden era. We witnessed a heartbreaking mass exodus of the game's greatest generation. The defining icons of the last 2 decades, they've walked off the game's biggest stage for the very last time.
Part 1. The confirmed farewells. Legends leaving the stage.
So let's start with the concrete heartbreaks. The Titans who have officially announced their World Cup days are firmly behind them. And our first departure is a monumental one. 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo's lifelong dream of lifting the World Cup ended in tears. Portugal's campaign was abruptly cut short in the round of 16 following a devastating 1-0 defeat to eventual champion Spain. Moments after the final whistle, reality just set in. Ronaldo emotionally confirmed to the world that his World Cup journey was over, stating simply, "I go with a clear conscience." He literally gave every ounce of his energy to his country.
And to put his unparalleled longevity into perspective, just think about the number 6. Ronaldo's journey began 20 years ago in 2006, and he cemented his legacy as the very first men's player in history to score in 6 different FIFA World Cups. It's just staggering. So even though he leaves the international arena without that coveted gold trophy, this achievement permanently secures his status as one of the greatest to ever step onto the pitch.
Now, while Ronaldo walked away with a clear conscience, another giant of the game left completely broken. Neymar Jr. fought a brutal 3-year battle with repetitive injuries just to make the 2026 squad in the first place. But Brazil's tournament ended in total shock with a 2-1 defeat against Norway in the round of 16. Right after that devastating loss at MetLife Stadium, which poetically is the exact same venue where he made his international debut 16 years prior, Neymar announced his retirement. He told reporters point blank, "It is now over."
The sheer tragedy of his departure is hard to overstate. Neymar leaves the international stage with a record-breaking 80 goals. That makes him Brazil's all-time top scorer, surpassing even the great Pelé. Yet, despite carrying the hopes of an entire nation across 4 World Cups, he walks away empty-handed on the game's biggest stage. It's a really bitter pill for one of the most naturally gifted players of his generation.
Moving to the other end of the pitch, let's talk about a guy who literally changed how his position is played. Manuel Neuer, the undisputed king of the sweeper-keeper role. His aggressive, far-off-the-line style completely revolutionized modern goalkeeping. But his incredible international career came to a screeching halt when Germany lost a super-tense penalty shootout to Paraguay in the round of 32.
What's wild about Neuer's exit is the absolute dedication behind it. He had actually retired after Euro 2024, but completely reversed that decision just to play in this tournament. And that massive U-turn allowed him to bow out with a monumental 23 World Cup appearances. That is the absolute most for any goalkeeper in the entire history of the competition.
If you're enjoying this documentary, subscribe to Flop Files and share this video with a football fan. We uncover the stories behind football's greatest moments and biggest comebacks.
Part 2. The unconfirmed exits. Agonizing farewells.
All right, here we step into the dramatic uncertainty surrounding the legends who are fighting a losing battle against the clock. And honestly, the math paints an unforgiving picture. Lionel Messi put on one last spectacular show in 2026 at age 39, practically dragging Argentina to a second consecutive final. But by the time the tournament kicks off in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco in 2030, Messi will be 43 years old. In the modern high-pressing game of professional football, that age is a massive, pretty much insurmountable hurdle. Following Argentina's heartbreaking 1-0 defeat to Spain in the final, Messi actually walked out of MetLife Stadium without speaking to reporters. He flat-out refused to announce his exit. He already holds the record for the most World Cup appearances by an individual at 6. But a 7th World Cup at age 43, it's mathematically and physically a near impossibility. This was, in all likelihood, the quiet end of his reign. But Messi isn't the only Ballon d'Or winner whose time has finally run out. Which brings us to the relentless Luka Modrić. At 40 years of age, he ran the Croatian midfield in North America with pure class right up until the round of 32 exit to Portugal. Modric has anchored a legendary 5-tournament streak, securing a runner-up medal in 2018 and a third-place finish in 2022, but he's going to be 44 years old by 2030. It's safe to say his extraordinary run has finally reached its natural conclusion.
Part 3. The Unsung Heroes and Their Decades of Dedication. While the explosive superstars usually grab all the headlines, this documentary wouldn't be complete without acknowledging the quieter but equally significant goodbyes of the veterans who anchored their teams for literally decades. Take Thomas Müller, the ultimate space investigator, who scored 10 World Cup goals and defined a whole generation of German football. And then there's Angel Di María, Argentina's ultimate big-game player, renowned for pulling off magic in massive finals. Both of these defining national anchors quietly stepped away from the international stage following their 2026 exits, marking a true end of an era.
Part 4. The Void and the Future. Who exactly steps up?
So, with these colossal figures leaving the stage, they leave behind a staggering vacuum for the 2030 tournament. And what's really fascinating is how the bookmakers are reacting to this void. Just look at these early 2030 odds. Shockingly, Argentina, the back-to-back finalists, are ranked all the way down in 7th at 12-1, purely because the market assumes they won't have Messi. Meanwhile, Portugal sits pretty in 3rd at 7-1. Oddsmakers seem to believe that hosting the tournament and perhaps finally being freed from the tactical constraints of an aging Ronaldo might actually improve their chances. The whole landscape has drastically shifted.
So who fills those stadium seats now? We are looking at a brand new generation of explosive superstars who are forced to step into the immense shoes left by the defining icons of the sport. We're talking about Spain's Lamine Yamal and Pedri, England's Jude Bellingham, Germany's Florian Wirtz, Norway's Erling Haaland, and France's Kylian Mbappe, who, incredibly, will be 31 years old and the veteran leader of his squad by the time 2030 rolls around. These players, they are no longer the future. They are the absolute present.
20 years of rivalries, records, and unforgettable nights end here. The 2030 World Cup will crown a new generation of stars, but it will be the first in decades without a single one of these names on the team sheet. Thanks for watching Flop Files.